My name is Patty Elhoff. I am the author of Upcycle with Decoupage. Just like most crafters, I do not just stick to one craft. So here is something we're going to do today to make a wreath. Really pretty shell wreath, small, simple project. Crucial to this project is Envirotex Pour On. And with this, you're also going to need small Dixie cups. You can't use anything that you're going to need to use again. So you want something disposable, whatever you can use that's pretty small, because this project is small. So I'm just using some Dixie cups. You can see I've got gloves on already, latex, or these are the non-latex. This is mica that I got online. I'll put some links on my website, upcyclewithdecoupagevpweb.com. I'll show you that link below. This is mica. It is not glitter. It gives it more of an old world feel. You'll see how it looks when I'm done. You can use glitter if you'd like to. These are glass pearls. I add a starfish if you'd like. Also crucial, a bunch of stars. Again, I'll put some links up so that you can see where to get these. So we will need Vaseline. Going to need anything to be able to stir this solution that you can throw away. Fork, anything plastic, wooden that you would like to use. Very important, I got this at the dollar store. I'm not going to use it for anything but crafting. About $5 or $6 in the supermarket, even more. And then about $2.50 in the dollar store. Same with this bowl. I think it was about 50 cents. Plastic bowl. Got that in the dollar store. I'm going to use, and you might not want to do this, I'm going to just add a few Australian crystals sporadically around this wreath. You might want to skip this step. If you do this step, you're going to also need, did you ever see this on Martha? She dips, come on, focus camera. She dips a cotton swab into beeswax. I just melted down a little piece of a beeswax candle, and apparently it makes it just tacky enough where you can pick these things up and place them where you want. Unless you have a special pair of tweezers, this works great. So I'll show you the very first step. Those are all of the ingredients, and here's what we need to do next. Oh, one more thing, I'm sorry, I won't be showing it because it's too large. Find a box that is the right size so that you can fit this inside of it to dry. When you use this pour on, it attracts dust, lint, whatever is flying around in the air that you can't see, little particles of hair. It just goes like a magnet right to this solution, so we don't want to do that. So here's the first step. Take your Vaseline, sorry about that, and I'm using this as a release type of a mold, not a mold, but a release that you would use on mold. So if you have a release agent around your house, that's good. And I'm putting it around the bowl, and I'm also going to put it around, you see I have it on a paper towel. I'm also going to put it around this pan. The whole idea is you don't want the Envirotech to stick to this. So once you've got that done, going to take our shells, and you don't want to take too many shells. I did that once. I'm basically just going to push those along the edge. You can see by looking at this how uneven it is. It's thicker down here, it's thinner up here. So what I'm going to do is, apparently I'm going to knock the camera over. What I'm going to do is put the bowl in the center. You can actually do this way and have a very thin wreath. I just prefer it to be a little wider. And center that bowl as best you can. You can always measure it to see if it's, make sure it's about an inch around or 2 inches, whatever you see from here to here. But mostly you can eyeball it. push the shells in. And if you need to add some shells, go ahead and add a few shells. Once you're happy with the way it looks, you can start to mix the solution, and I'll show you how we do that now. There's instructions on the box, but I'll show you how to do it. I said we need 3 cups. Just keep that third one aside in case you need it for anything. One of the cups you want to draw a little line on, unless you're very good at pouring it and seeing that it's halfway full, and then you pour the other, because we're going to pour one solution at a time into 1 cup. And I almost always have extra left over with this, which is frustrating because I just hate to waste anything. So I'm going to pour it up to the line. Whoop. I can see, it looks here like it's only up to here, but it is up to here. Then we're going to pour it into the 1 cup. Let that drip out as much as we can, maybe help it along a little bit. By the way, if any of this spills, clean it up as soon as possible. This dries to almost a plastic, actually I think it is a kind of plastic that just does not come off of anything. And as usual, I can see I'm dripping it all over. You can put wax paper down or craft paper, unless you're just working in a surface, like a work surface where you're not too concerned. And I'm glad I left the cap off of this because I just looked and went, uh-oh, which one did I just use? I could always go back to the tape, right? Take the second part of the solution, and in that first cup with the line on it, fill it up again to where that line is. Okay, there we go. Spill that into the other cup. Wow, just gonna make it there. Probably could have used a bigger cup here. I think I'm going to be, I might be using more than I need today. We'll find out in a few minutes. Let me clean this up first. Setting my timer for 2 minutes. And you've got to stir it really well. You can say I put some wax paper down because I know I'm going to spill some of this. But you want to, it is important to stir it up for the 2 minutes because it really does matter. This has to be mixed thoroughly. And a lot of times if you just say, I'll give it a minute or 2 minutes, it goes by a lot faster or slower than you realize. So I'll fast forward through this. Okay, 2 minutes is up. These bubbles are perfectly normal. You might even see some bubbles floating around. This is ready to pour on, hence the name, pour on to your surface. Pour it all around. And it's self-leveling, so it is going to, just like a liquid, it's going to go where any drippy liquid would go. But I'm still going to move it around a little bit. With a little time to work with this, it's not, it takes quite a while, a day, to set up. So that's why you want to put it in the basement or something. Just make sure that all of the shells are connected, have some of this on there. Okay, I took the center of the bowl out. I am taking another plastic utensil and just making sure everything's in its right place. Also picking up some of this and putting it onto areas where I don't see any pour-all on the surface, but I would like some of the products I'm about to put on here to stick, so I just want to make sure I've got the pour all on top. Actually, I'm going to take the mica first or glitter, whichever you prefer. Just going to do a little sprinkling of this. I'm so sorry. A little sprinkling of this around. I know it looks messy right now, but I'm now going to take a few of the glass pearls, and I want it glass, not plastic. It really looks prettier. Pearls in there, and I'm now going to take this Q-tip with the beeswax on it and pick up some of these crystals and place them sporadically around the shell wreath where I see really shiny parts, and I know that the resin is hanging out there. You can see I have some excess around here. I'm just going to try to move it back. So basically, we're done for right now. We're done for the most part. There's just one or two things you may want to do when we're done. But for right now, the most important thing is you put this inside a box. If you have a very dry room, but preferably one that people aren't going in and out of, can you leave it there for, I always do this overnight, but probably 12 hours is fine. Here we are the following morning, and I think it looks very pretty. I'll close up on a few things here. Only a couple of pearls fell off, which is not a big deal. One shell fell off, one tiny shell, that's it. So I used just the right amount of the pour on. This is the part where I was telling you if you would like to put something larger on, like to make it a focal point. I think I might high gloss this and then put it on. But this is the glue E6000 that's just phenomenal. I read in a craft book once that if you don't want something to stick permanently, don't use this. And it's true, it's that good. For now, this is the finished product. That is how you work with the pour on. I'm going to add a ribbon. I'm not sure if it's going to be this ribbon or not yet. Here's how the back of it looks. A little pearl just fell off again. The back looks kind of neat too, I think. And for the camera to focus. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to contact me. There is a little bit of excess left over in here. That can be avoided if before it starts to dry you really move that out of the way or wipe it out of the way. So there you are. There's your completed wreath made from shells and pour on. Pretty simple. And it looks really pretty. I can't wait to hang it in a place where it gets a lot of sunlight. And thanks again, guys. I'll see you next week.